over very many years, our fund has given money to almost all the alternative publications that have been here today and many others. And so we've thought a lot about alternative financing of the funds, of the publications, and how are we actually going to get the money to run the publications. We've offered a $5,000 grant to people to put on another conference like this. So I agree with you, Arnold. We should be having another get-together that explores these issues, and we should carry on the dialogue. Yesterday I spoke about what the Burst and Marsteller of the left would do if it was analyzing the problems of alternative media. And I want to ask the labor unions here, one thing that the alternate publications are dying for is readership. And I've heard so many trade union people say, if only the media had been different, the society would have been different. So I want to ask you specifically, is there a way you can offer to trade union members on a voluntary basis the access to the publications like the TIE, the Dominion, Rabble, and other ones, by putting them on the side of your website, for example, so your members can click on and access them?
Okay. I've got Dawn.
Thanks. So my name is Dawn. I'm a journalism student at UBC, and I'm active with Vancouver Media Co-op. I have a comment, and I guess just very briefly, I think that the networking aspect is extremely important, and I agree with the earlier comments that there is obviously some existing networking going on, but I think that we need to actually stop and acknowledge and take a look at who's not at the table with us, and particularly in the larger forums that we've had throughout this conference. We have, I think, had a lack of networking and representation from people from the very diverse communities that are involved with media activism across the country. So I'm talking about, in particular, students, journalism students, youth, Indigenous people, communities of color, low-income communities. And this is something at the Vancouver Media Co-op on a local level that we're putting far more effort into outreaching with other movements and other organizations that are actually doing work on the ground in these communities than we are, per se, networking with other media organizations. And I'll just finish by giving a quick plug to the Allied Media Conference. It's happening in Detroit next month. And I think that this offers what looks to me like a very encouraging model for closer collaboration between social movements and alternative media.
Okay, thanks, Dawn. John?
Yeah, John Miller from Ryerson. I'd like to pick up on a couple of things that have mentioned during conference and not really explored. One of them is government funding. How do we feel about that? And if we want it to happen, say, from some future benevolent government, in what form would it be more useful to us? The best idea I've heard was Cactus's proposal for establishing local hubs of media that would be available to the public and be able to produce local media, because the crisis of local journalism is a very real one, particularly in small communities. And I think we have to pick an opportunity to get behind that we can all see has the best potential. The other area that was mentioned, and again not explored to my knowledge, was this idea that academics could provide a lot of the analysis and research that would support this movement. And two areas of research that would be very promising, I think, is look at who else is excluded from the mainstream media and how do they work. And I use, for want of a better expression, example, what I call the right-wing blogosphere. Anybody who's ever run afoul of smalldeadanimals.com and their the political mouth breather sack led by Mark Stein and Ezra Levin knows that they're very powerful and they engage people. It's impossible to harness some of that power and not be angry and racist. I don't know. That'd be worth studying how they do that. And the other area, the ethno-cultural media is excluded and it's very dynamic. We're blessed to have 7 daily papers in Toronto. There are 10 daily papers that are published in languages other than English. There's a lot of roadkill, but their business model might be worth studying so that they can support some public media too.
Okay, thank you.